And hello and welcome to AleksTabletops MTG Quick Study episode 93. My name is Alex and let's start our 93rd match. Okay. Hope. So while match is loading, quick reminder that MTG Quick Study is a series of one match episodes that focuses on learning from my own matches by watching and trying to analyze them. So we are playing as RPG versus Cannaborn. So we playing as knights versus a. I'm calling this deck specialization as mana deck or mana ramp deck. The whole point of this mana is basically get, like that we're playing against, is get as much mana as possible, as quick as possible, put commander in play, and then basically go cast a lot of creatures, trigger ability of the commander until you will be able to get to the point of full dominance, and also it will give you more lands. The more lands you will have, the more bigger spells, finishing spells you will be able to cast, and the quicker you're gonna win. So that means that right away from the get-go, if opponent is not going to have troubles with mana, we have a pretty decent chance of losing, unless we will be able to utilize some big strategy of our own. So we have a pretty decent hand. We basically will be able to, like, we have all colors that we need. So the question is what we need to start with. Do we start with putting enchantments in play? Do we start with putting creatures in play? Because again, there's a lot of choices here. Like, I could put, for instance, creature in play in order to attack it next turn, but then I don't want to waste mana this turn, so I kind of decided to put artifact first by paying 2 mana instead of wasting 1 mana by playing a creature, because either way opponent will probably place more creatures in play, which opponent did, and we're not going to be able to attack next turn, which is we're not. So because of this, playing enchantment is smarter choice at this point. Equipment, a smarter choice at this point than playing a creature that's not going to be able to attack. So again, at the point of playing those matches, I was a little bit more familiar with these decks than at the beginning. Like, at some point I will upload a stream where I played this event right from the beginning till the end, when I basically tried to figure out the format, tried to figure out the rules. I didn't know 100% the rules. I was quite confused about some of the rules. Like, for instance, at the beginning I thought that commander is going to be right away in a command zone active, forgetting that this is a creature and you have to put it onto the battlefield in order for it to work. So yeah, so commander is basically just in a separate command zone. You're not able to kill it in a command zone, but again, you will be able to cast it from the command zone every time that you will place it into the command zone. And you can place commander in the command zone multiple ways, of course. Killing it and choosing, instead of killing it, going into the command zone, exiling it. Instead of choosing and exiling it, you could put it in a command zone. If you have a choice, put it into your hand or into the command zone. You could choose to put it in the command zone, which is weird because you will play commander cheaper if you will play it from your hand. So there's a lot of interesting things that go into a commander rules. Because in most cases, brawl rules are pretty similar to the commander rules. Again, the only difference is, as I understand properly, that commander, all sets allowed and all previous sets allowed, including all commander sets. When brawl rules are standard specific, which just kind of restricts them quite a bit in terms of flexibility. So yeah, at this point, things are not good. I mean, we're slowly losing life. We're pretty far from utilizing our commander. The lands that we're getting are entering the battlefield tapped, which is pretty sucks. So now it's all about thinking. So since I used this card with Adventure, I'm able to cast our Fallmire Knight that costs 1 mana, creature 1/1 with that touch, which is exactly what I'm playing, I guess. I actually had multiple choices here. I decided to force opponent, even though I know that my 2/2 creature will probably die. I still want to kind of press for 5, because we have to push. The slower the game is going against the deck that we're playing, the harder it's going to win against this deck. So we have to push as fast as possible in order to give ourselves advantage of some kind. So the cool thing is that now we have a pretty strong equipment in play, the one that actually looks like an artifact, not the red one. It basically gives one of our creatures +10/+10, but in order to activate this or equip this creature, we have to have 8 mana. But if we will place our commander in play, it's going to reduce the cost of putting this equipment on our knights to 0, which is pretty sick, and it might give us an upper hand in winning if we're going to have creatures in play, because opponent slowly now destroys them, which is pretty bad. So the cool thing is that opponent is probably not going to attack with all creatures, not flying creatures, because we have a creature with Death Touch. Opponent definitely doesn't want to lose his commander yet. So now we put our commander in play, and now we will be able to put this Colossus hammer on our deadliest creature. Also this one too. And now our deadliest creature become pretty big. So again, I don't know why opponent decides to actually skip that one. I would block it with 3/3. It was weird. Maybe opponent has a plan, because like losing 12 damage to, like, it's quite a lot. And this deck that we're playing against, it doesn't necessarily have much of lifelink, as I remember. So we have a pretty unique card in our hand that could give us a win if opponent is not going to play right. We have a single combat card, the one that costs 3 regular mana, basically colorless mana, and 2 of white. We have a land that we will be able to play by paying 2 lives, and next turn, if opponent is not going to kill all of our creatures and our 12/12 will stay in play, we actually could utilize the combination of playing Orzhov Guildmage, if I properly remember how this card works. Hopefully this is the Guildmage that enters the battlefield untapped if you pay 2 lives. We'll see. So basically we need 1 mana in order to utilize single combat. Single combat basically will top all opponent's creatures, and that way we will be able to basically attack through. Yeah, opponent basically plays a pretty cool strategy by returning with 2/4 ability Golem, and then replaying this Golem by killing one of our creatures. I believe opponent actually made a mistake by killing our commander. But again, no, this is actually not the... no, we actually have more than enough mana to utilize this sorcery. Pretty sick. I thought that we don't have enough mana. So yeah, we had enough mana. Pretty sick. So yeah, that's it. So instead of playing all those other cards, we could actually win right now. So topping all creatures opponent controls, and we have deadliest creature with 12/11 with Death Touch, basically going to kill opponent, which is pretty cool. So again, right here we got lucky. Oh, wait a minute. No, it's not the end. It's not topping creatures. It's actually forces opponent to choose one and sacrifice the rest. Okay, I'm kind of mistaken. I thought that this is it. Okay, it's not the end. But I remember one of the matches I actually won this way. Kind of. Okay, let's see. Now it all depends what opponent will put in play. There is a good chance that opponent decides to quit. Although opponent has a lot of lands, if opponent is not going to have enough cards to go against our 12/11, it's probably it. So yeah, Commander is pretty sick format. I love it so far. I mean, this is a brawl. It's a little bit limited than a Commander, but like I never played Commander before, so for me, this is the first experience of playing such format, similar format, and I actually love it. My favorite format is actually a singleton, and but now my first now singleton, come on, man. Now singleton will become my second favorite format, and my first favorite format is gonna be Commander. And for now, since the only format pretty close to Commander accessible in Magic is gonna be Brawl, it's gonna be Brawl. But now, having a little bit of experience in playing Commander, I actually kind of, I don't know, stuck to it. Again, my favorite thing is to create complicated decks with at least 3 colors, and Commander built for them perfectly. The restrictions of Commander make you think, the color identity thing makes you think, and basically it pushes you to another level of playing Magic. And all Commander matches that I played, like all Brawl matches that I played so far wasn't easy at all. I mean, they all had some level of complexity that basically allowed me to push myself further and learn more things in Magic, and basically study it, which is the whole point of this channel. Study Magic, study games like this in order for then in the future create your own stuff similar to Magic or not. Basically just tabletop games, and in general AleksTabletops is gonna aim towards that goal. But for now, I'm just gaining the casual experience again. I'm by any means I'm not trying to become a super professional R&D card developer. I mean, I'm going to do this as a hobby. This is just something that helps me to grow, helps me to learn new things and not become stupid, I guess. Because if you're not pushing your brain, it will start to develop. Have to develop your brain with something. I mean, and Magic is one of those games that actually forces you to think. Like, especially for me personally, I'm pretty bad at math. I'm pretty bad at paying attention to one specific thing. Sometimes I'm rushing, and Magic kind of forces me to not rush, think, like analyze better, and count better, which is one of the things. Like, who knew that math is gonna help us at some point in life? Yes. Either way, so pretty cool. Again, on that note, I guess we will end this session. Again, in future sessions we will try other decks, so this is kind of finishes our Knights run, I would say, like from episode 90 to episode 93, which is probably this episode if I properly name it. So we actually played with the Knight deck against other types of deck. In next episode we will play as a sacrifice deck run, which is basically this deck with the dragon. So, and once we're done with sacrifice, we will go and play with mana deck, which is this deck, and after mana deck we will play with the fairy deck, which is not represented here. So, and at least 4 matches is gonna be available for each of those decks. Some of them we're gonna lose and analyze why we lost, and some of them we're gonna win and analyze why we win. So in this match we won for a specific reasons, and they were clear. I mean, opponent, I believe, made a huge mistake by killing our commander instead of our big creature with a lot of enchantments, and because of this, basically, opponent decided to quit. Maybe opponent could survive for a couple of more turns and decided just to quit regardless, but who knows. You never know what opponent had in his or her hand, unless you would play with a real person. In online, this is always a mystery, and yeah. So yeah, on that note, we will sum it up. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, give it a boost. If you want more, subscribe and set the bell note. To be a part of MTG Study live sessions, join our streams here at AleksTabletops. Have a nice day or night, and see you in the next episode. Bye bye.